guys, if you guys don't know, Shadman, a new video on Shadman dropped from an up-and-coming creator. I don't know if up-and-coming is an insult, but he's got 24,000 subs, and this video did 100K in a day. So unless his channel is absolutely exploding, this is probably a good performer, if I had to guess. No, actually, this guy's regularly getting over 100,000, 1.4 million views on Boy in a Band. Not to typecast himself, but Shadman, Rice Pirate, and Zach Hadel. This is all kind of a similar community. I don't know who Stamper is, right? I don't think Shadman is, like, cool with... Actually, I'm sorry. Cool with is probably the correct term. I don't know. I don't think that he, like, works directly with Zach Hadel or anything, but I know that Zach has been... I don't know. Maybe it'll be in this video. I don't want to slander anybody. I don't know. For a matter of fact. I'm pretty sure he's defended Shadman at points or whatever. I don't know. This has a lot of Newgrounds alum stuff. That's probably good. We're going to take a look at this now, because I'm actually interested. If you guys don't know, Shadman is the one who draws real children as lolly characters. This is the one who his site was taken down because he drew Daphne Keene getting by Wolverine. Daphne Keene, obviously, was in Deadpool and Wolverine, but before that, she was in Logan, and she was 12. So he drew a 12-year-old.
So much harder. Big content.
Getting
problems here
on his site money, right? For money and to be lol edgy. This guy was also the person who drew the artwork in Chris Tyson's room in the Mr. Beast house. He's known for drawing lolicon characters. More so, he's known for drawing lolicon characters of real-life girls. Obviously drew multiple pictures of Keemstar's daughter. So this is not a good dude. He's a pretty fucking bad dude. And I'm interested to see what we're going to learn here.
Within the annals of internet lore, there are few individuals who have been branded with the title of Menace. But the individual that's the subject of today's video...
What does this guy's voice sound like? Have I heard this guy make videos before?
...has more than lived up to that title. It's not exactly a...
Dude, I heard like a little bit of this today on Chud's stream. Who is that guy who exposed... I know it's not him. Everyone knows what JXE sounds like, right? This is card posting. Where is this? Alec Gunter video. Here.
And when I say I'm going on a break, I mean it. And my schedule is not beholden to anyone else's whims.
Do you hear it? Like, imagine if card posting had a better
and theme
microphone and then fused with JXE.
Recap. After our last little back and forth, Alec Gunter was...
So that's card posting. This is JXE.
From Paradise PD.
Fuck them.
That's why he's not black or mixed race, but no.
All right, here. Card posting.
Evidently so incensed.
Okay.
They just forgot.
JXE. And now, okay, this is Node Armstrong.
Secret that when compared to real life, the internet has a far higher tolerance for behavior that would otherwise be deemed...
It's the two of them fused together. This is literally the two of them fused together.
...offensive or inappropriate. So for someone to not only be condemned, but blacklisted from a majority of the internet for artwork they created...
The audio thing sent Nick on a crazy tangent. I kind of hear like they use Patara earrings.
It must be a uniquely disturbing...
Card is Australian. It doesn't matter. They all have the same, like, voice. It's the voice. It's not the accent. It's the voice.
Case of either taking a joke way too far, or an instance of when one's darkest and most depraved desires can no longer be contained to the rotting annals of their mind.
I am not crazy!
And spill forth into the world. Meet Shaddai Prajan, aka... Shadman. Whilst most discussion of Shadman concerns his artwork depicting characters of dubious age, many are unaware of his more recent history, featuring his arrests, drug abuse, and convictions for...
Yeah, we thought that he did heroin, right? I thought that was disproved, though, that he's not really, like, into heroin or something, I don't know.
Violent crimes. There are a lot of videos already made about his...
A lot of videos. I think 2 of them were Turkey Tom, right? Oh, no, we have Advil and Cam Nuggets, bro. Cam Nuggets.
Controversial art. But in this video, I'm going to try to gather together every scrap of information that exists on his life and try to paint a comprehensive story, stretching from his childhood through to his career as an artist and subsequent downfall. More so than any other individual I've spoken about, Shad has been incredibly careful when it comes to revealing information about his private life. This cautiousness was at first thought to be due to his own shyness and preference for personal privacy.
And then it turned out he loved drawing pictures of naked kids online.
As more information emerged about about him, it became clear that a key factor of his secrecy was to ensure that his real identity couldn't be associated with the antics of his online, self-described, villainous alter ego. This video will obviously touch on some off-kilter topics, but I'm assuming you're—
Again, like, the craziest shit is this whole thing was pushed as, like, a free speech narrative by, like, the skeptic community. Like, the right-wing influencers on YouTube and the people who were kind of heading in that direction. They were like, dude, this is a free speech issue. All right, I don't like his drawings, but I respect his— like, no, I don't respect his right to post them. Wrong.
you're already aware.
I respect his the right to have his website up. No, I do not respect that. It should be down. He drew a child.
Of that. Okay, let's just dive in.
The child's team or the child found the pictures. That's why his site went down.
Shadman was born September 9th, 1990, somewhere in Switzerland, to a Swiss mother and American father. His dad, Thaddeus, had emigrated from Louisiana and was actually a semi-well-known reggae singer.
What? Okay, this video is taking an interesting turn.
With one of his songs having some interesting similarities to the life of his son.
Hoping for the sun's quick return. Word someone was coming. Cause his eye and heart to burn.
Okay, we're gonna just move past this because I don't want to get dinged.
Godly, and allegedly using physical violence as a punishment.
Whoa, I'm sorry, time out. He was beaten as a child? Awesome.
Anything that could be considered ungodly, and allegedly using physical violence as a punishment.
Oh.
Where you get beaten. You gotta know that the fear of God lives in you. That's what my dad used to do to me. I turned out pretty okay.
One such beating is
Oh.
reported to have taken place following Shad receiving poor grades at school. Shad's academic struggles could be due in part to the fact that his family would frequently move around the country.
So we never stayed in a single place long enough to gather any lasting—
By the way, I disavow Shad's dad. He didn't go far. Okay, never mind. I'm not making these jokes. I'm gonna get in trouble.
friends at the time.
With him citing his family's frequent relocation as a reason why he struggled to make friends.
In situations like that, your siblings become your best friends. It's safe to say we're all very close.
Button it! Button it!
We know that Shad had a handful of siblings, however the exact number is still unknown.
Guys, I hit the button. Everything I said before this can't be used against me.
It's been deduced he has at least one brother, and Shad himself has admitted to having a younger sister.
One thing made me start to grow distant.
That's fucking terrifying. I did not know that Shad had a younger sister. That's fucking disgusting, dude. That adds like a whole nother level to this guy's degeneracy. This guy likes drawing fucking lewd images and naked images of fucking kids online, and he literally had a younger sister that he grew up with. What a fucking monster.
From my little sister, which is my interest in drawn and animated pornography.
Throughout his lonely childhood, a young
Surely that was a joke, right? That's been taken out of context.
Shadai would discover his love for
It probably wasn't.
art through the medium of video games, and it's here that he would begin to draw, inspired by the characters and worlds of the games he played. The young Shad would
Dude,
also
this guy played Kingdom Hearts, and he's like, what if Goofy's asshole was expanded?
develop another passion, coding and web design. He would combine these two passions when he created a website that would one day become shadbase.com. Shad would use this little website to show off his art, using it as a digital portfolio and also a testament to his coding abilities. After leaving school,
Nick, what? Dude, I'm sorry, I had to specifically pick a character that wouldn't be sus.
Shadai would decide to pursue a career in game design.
And I thought, like, you know what'd be really cool? If I could make video games. Because I loved video games. Yeah.
And then he went on to start up a video game thing, and he lived happily ever after, and no, that never happened.
His lackluster educational qualifications meant he was unable to apply to many game design courses in the country. But through a stroke of luck, one university, the F&F School for Art and Media Design,
Dude, he went to the Five Nights at Freddy's School for Art and Media. That's crazy.
Zurich, would see his online artwork, and based solely on the raw talent he demonstrated there, decide to give Shad a chance by offering him a place on one of their game design courses starting the following academic year.
I was completely undereducated, but sometimes they let people in when they think, I see potential in this guy, and they let him in anyway. But next to making my portfolio, I also have an online portfolio. So I made this website called shadbase.com, and I used it as my...
This reminds me, do you guys remember when Tommy C almost became a video game tester over at like a big, was it Ubisoft or something? He almost became like a video game tester at like Ubisoft.
online portfolio.
But he wore a suit to his last interview, and they didn't take him.
and I just put up like some of my work I've done, like some of my like amateur like digital paintings and stuff, and I sent them in a portfolio. They've looked into it and thought like, you know, we'll give you a chance. We usually don't do this, but we'll give you a chance. After summer, you can start.
With a place secured at university, finally studying something he was passionate about, Shad was left with a final few months to enjoy the end of his teenage years and prepare for the transition into adult life. But it's what he did in these few months that would change the course of his life forever. Shad himself
He drew
states that
children.
during these months he found himself
He started doing crystal meth and drawing kids, right?
incredibly lonely, and in his loneliness he would begin to explore himself. No, not like that. He would explore his mind and create artwork of the not safe for work variety. Oh, maybe he did do some exploration.
The whole summer went by, and I started to get the courage to look deep inside, like the darkest corners of myself. The corners where I never
He drew his own mother? Ew, I didn't know that.
would have seen myself, and I kind of explore those and like see that I have a friend in there. And I explore that and like do some drawings which were very questionable morally.
What set his work apart from the creamy tidal wave of not safe for work art already on the internet was the indeterminate age of his drawn characters. Later on his website, he would slap a big ol' all characters are over 18 even if stated otherwise
Even if stated otherwise is gross, dude.
disclaimer. But I'm sure most would agree simply having
Even if I specifically say this is a fucking child or whatever, it's unfortunately 18. Like, it's so fucking weird.
the need to put such a
Dude, I need Tipster to watch this video and sit there and realize how fucking stupid he was. I mean, he obviously has apologized since then and he's explained his thought process, but I need Tipster to watch this video as like a form of penance.
disclaimer up like that is a pretty big indicator you're entering some highly sketchy territory. Shad describes this period of artistic exploration as him simply learning to accept himself, and creating art that was a true expression of his own abilities. But as would soon be made apparent, not everyone shared his artistic perspective. He would post all this art to shadbase.com in a separate section from his professional portfolio.
Like, hey, I'll just upload them to this portfolio site I made. Make like an extra category and start uploading a little more alternative stuff.
But still just as accessible to anyone who wished to view it. During this time, Shad would first make contact with another up-and-coming online creative, Corey Beck, better known as SpazKid. This was prior to SpazKid's explosion in popularity that came with his Sonichu animated
I don't know what I just saw, but I feel like I should make it smaller. How the fuck? Was that just some guy's ass?
series, but this connection nonetheless would prove invaluable later on. At the end of summer, Shad would begin his university career in game design, but after a few weeks, Shad would be called into a meeting by university staff,
It's AI, of course it is.
where
yeah.
they would bring up what was now viewable on
That was goofy, dude.
Shad's
True.
website.
I get like this weird email. Oh no. And it's like, can you meet us on Friday? Can you please meet us at this specific address? And like, leads me into this building. We go up an elevator. We go into like this secluded room. They broke the bomb and said, we found some stuff on your website, which is highly illegal, and we cannot allow you back on the campus.
Oh wow.
Because you
Oh, so he got an opportunity because of his art, and then they looked at his fucking site, and they found out that he had like fucking lolicon and disgusting fucking artwork on his site, and they kicked him out.
are a menace.
Okay, I feel I don't need to bring up the logistical issues of putting alongside your professional portfolio, but having that be extremely risque, like even by standards. Like, yeah, the university wasn't gonna hear you out. Like, I beat my edging PR all the time, but I don't stick it on my fucking LinkedIn. When retelling the story, Shad appeared—
Hold on, the clip, that's Psychic Pebbles? I know that he was like, this is that podcast, right? This is one he's on.
even by standards. Like, yeah, the university wasn't gonna hear you out.
Like, yeah, no, dude, Psychic Pebbles was friendly with Shadman. I'm almost positive that's the case.
Like, I beat my edging PR all the time, but I don't stick it on my fucking LinkedIn. When retelling the story, Shad appears to be very cautious to not actually describe what the university found, and obviously painting himself as this edgy
Yeah, but at the time, they would know because it was just on his website. You could just go look at it, right?
rock and roll badass, whose Sigma demeanor sent chills down the spines of all the university bigwigs.
It's also kind of like with my whole appearance and stuff at the time. Like, I was quite into like heavy metal and stuff, and that also was like for people like those, like kind of like conservative art professors, was a kind of a red flag.
Very, very
because of the whole like satanic.
Oh yeah, dude, the satanic panic conservatives. Yeah, 100%. That's probably why people were mad about it, dude. You're in the clear.
Themes and like the glorification of violence, such in that.
Yes, Shad, I'm sure at your art university you were the only one who dressed in an alternative style.
Raw time.
Take it easy, babe.
Shad's primary defense seemed to be that all of his not safe for work stuff was totally unrelated to his university work.
Them like telling me that to prove that they're nothing but an agents of treachery themselves.
Right.
By like denying my right to express myself in my own free time, completely independent.
Disconnect. God, this is so pathetic. And you just know that like Elvis the Alien and the other guys who were watching this back then are like, yo, it's a free speech issue, bro. Holy shit, dude. This guy's got such free speech emanating out of his body, bro. Holy shit, dude. This guy's speech is so fucking free right now. Yes! It's so free, bro.
From what I do in school.
It was stuff he did in his free time, and therefore the university had no business looking into it. I like to turn women into chandeliers, but that's on my time, University of Slough. Despite the stellar defense of none of your business, Shad was ordered to gather his shit and leave the university. He was also instructed to hand himself in to authorities.
The thing is...
Jesus. But wait, if it was really that bad, wouldn't they call the police, right? Like, they wouldn't be like, you should turn yourself in. This sounds like PKA for weebs. When they're like, what's his name is explaining. Who's the guy from PKA who went to jail? Like, he's explaining his fucking jail stories. FPS Russia. This is PKA for weebs.
I don't believe his story he told. His story about getting kicked out of his original country.
Yeah, this is Kyle if he drew Lolicon instead of going to jail for weed.
I always took it as an exaggerated statement about he probably was just kind of a creep and they threw him out. And he had to make it like, I was so badass. I was so incredible. Because have you guys not noticed that a lot of internet personalities really like to talk up how badass they are? And some of the reason that they bring in these things is to reaffirm how fucking cool they are to you. They need to remind you. I just took it as him exaggerating. I didn't buy it. I never believed it.
To top this all off, when taking the train back home, Shad was stopped by police, where they found he was in possession of a large knife. Shad would make it home and went to the
That's so fucking crazy, dude. This guy's got like a gigantic cleaver and he gets... Stop and frisk found one, finally.
Police, where he was then interrogated about it.
That's not a knife! This is a knife!
His art. For these drawings, and on top of the earlier knife possession, he was fined 2,800 Swiss pounds. After all this, Shad would accept that he was unlikely to pursue any serious creative career.
I was definitely thinking I'm not
So he's like, oh, fuck it, we're gonna draw Daphne Keane now.
gonna do anything creative for the rest of my life. Like, I'm just gonna do enough for a job. I'm not gonna.
So I'm gonna be an unhinged trial. It's like fucking crazy, dude. This is insane.
do it. I told myself I'm gonna just quit.
He got a license for that knife. We're from Space Australia.
You thought you were just gonna do like a desk job the rest of your life?
Yeah, I just thought like I'll just come with me. Like
You gonna do it? You gonna do a desk job for the rest of your life? No, man. I'm just gonna draw children.
But I did not consider that would ever do.
No, I did not ever consider doing a desk job. I always knew I would draw children.
Anything creative.
With no real goals or directions, Shad would decide to get his mandatory military service out the way as soon as possible. Shad would join the military and was assigned as an artillery tankman. Even in something as famously fraternal as the military, Shad would fail to make any long-term connections. But his comrades would quickly come to notice and respect his artistic ability, with him actually designing an emblem for his tank that wound up placed on the side of the vehicle.
See, here's the tanks. It's a bit of a... It's just Instagram fucking downscales this shit. But yeah, this was our tank battalion. And yes, I
Dude, listen to the music in the background, bro. He's so punk. He's so rock.
did make the logo here on the side too. All the tanks had them.
I know these vehicles
You can hear it coming through like his speakers. He's playing this loud in his room while he streams.
aren't technically in service, but if World War III does break out in Europe, there is a not impossible chance that someone may be killed by a Shadman branded tank. But seriously, his sketches from this time, in my opinion, most clearly highlight the insane talent he has for drawing. Out of all the artists I've covered from Newgrounds, I'm confident in saying that Shad exhibits the most raw artistic ability out of any one of his peers. It's also why I don't subscribe to later criticism thrown his way that he can't draw or was never a talented artist. Like, the man has
No, but he knew it paid the bills, dude. Those pedophiles have tons of cash.
talent. After a few months training and operating his iconic...
Dude, making content for pedos was his claim to fame, dude. It was the only way. It's not that he didn't have talent to draw. It's that the pedos paid more than the regular people, dude. In reality, the people who underfunded him are the reason why he drew the stuff that he drew. If you guys just subscribe to his Patreon for the normal content...
tank.
Yeah, dude, Epstein paid tons for his content, dude.
Shad's time in the
It's like JF.
would come to an end, leaving him once again at the mercy.
Even then, dude, JF took Jewish Jeffrey Epstein's money and started an alt-right podcast with it, all right? This guy took thousands from pedophiles and just kept drawing lolly. So, like, well, I mean, JF is twice the man that Shadman is, I guess.
Fate, and unsure of what to do with himself. Despite swearing off any creative career path, Shad would eventually decide to try once more to break into the video game industry, joining a currently unknown indie studio where he found himself doing design work for an unknown penguin-based game.
Okay, let's just
Wait, what?
be graphic design artists. That sounds pretty neat. The things they had me do there were like designing, like drawing penguins for an iPhone game.
Oh my god, I remember that, dude.
Shad would soon leave the studio, his reason being he couldn't stand having to work within someone else's guidelines. He therefore made the decision.
It's like, dude, why do all these penguins have breasts? It's like, dude, this is my expression. This is my expression, man. This is what I'm building.
to try and go it alone as a solo internet artist. His decision likely supported after seeing the success many of his contemporaries, such as Spaz Kid, were achieving on.
Dude, why do all the penguins have like fucking sexual like appearances and then little spinning hat? Like, what's the little hat with the little spinning thing on it and like a big lollipop? So it looked like JD Vance.
Grounds. To begin this new career, Shad would revive his old Shad-based website and would begin a new webcomic that he would upload there. Each page of the webcomic can basically be boiled down to what if game/anime.
Yeah, it's got like a little propeller hat and a big fucking big lollipop.
A character, but sex. He would also begin to upload his infamous.
He found like new exciting ways to make the fucking penguins look younger, even though they're animals.
Series of lolly and Shota art.
Okay, bro, let's not put that on the screen.
What's
Thanks.
the name of the guy? Keemstar Orbiter, Nick Oreo, Mr. Oreo.
It's weird how many people were completely okay with pedo Shad, and would still be to this day, and how these people didn't suffer any repercussions.
Oh, I don't know, dude. That list went around, and even people who didn't really engage with him a lot took a bunch of shit. I think everybody kind of knows now. They didn't get any shit at the time, which makes no sense. But that free speech shit was crazy, how that was used as justification to defend this behavior.
As Shad would claim that criticism of his art would mostly relate to things.
Most people looked past it and didn't really see the bad stuff. Okay, so that's fundamentally not true. Shadman was like the most prolific and known lolicon artists in like the commentary space. Every single one of these people knew it. And if they didn't know it before, they knew it after he drew Keemstar's daughter. Okay, and if they didn't know it before that, they knew it when his website got taken down for drawing Daphne Keene. And there were still people who defended him after that. Okay, so no. Some of these guys were just completely fucking wrong, and they were arguing as if this was a free speech issue when it wasn't, like when it was just literally illustrated child pornography. So no, there is absolutely heads that needed to roll, and I think that some of them have rolled already, and other ones probably never will. But that's just kind of how it worked out. He was the Epstein of YouTube.
Things like his art.
Yeah, I mean, like everybody, like there were so many people who were around this guy or fans of this guy or like fucking joked around. Oh, you're so edgy, dude. You're so edgy. This is like a huge stain on the legacy of a lot of YouTubers that are respected and liked.
Style. I think if you're earnestly critiquing the aesthetic qualities of your cartoon lolly porn, you probably need to reevaluate some life choices. Alongside this relaunch of his website, he would decide to create a new online persona to accompany his new identity on the web. And so it's here the internet would first be introduced to the Shadman. The Shadman, or just, in quotations, Shadman, is the character / persona most people.
How did Shad Base become a thing? I know he's Shadman, but I always heard him referred to as Shad Base. Is that explained in this?
Associates with Shad's art and Shad himself. The skeleton wearing an overtly fashy uniform would serve as a visual stand-in for the otherwise
Yeah, and he made himself look edgier to try to like appeal to the skeptic political guys. Like, look at this fucking dude, and then look at his avatar, bro. He looks like every fucking YouTuber who hung out with Sargon of Akkad. Doesn't he? This is like every YouTuber's avatar or their like depictions of themselves from the people who hung out with those guys back in the day.
The skeleton wearing an overtly fashy uniform would serve as a visual stand-in for the otherwise camera-shy Shad, an intentionally villainous alter ego to accompany
Thank you.
Why would so many people be Googling that?
Also, Josh Moon was responsible for Shad's site being taken down. He contacted Daphne Keene agent.
Yeah, once again, Josh Moon turned out to be the good guy in that situation.
controversial artwork he made. This persona also provided yet another layer of ironic defense to criticism thrown his way. If you took offense to his content, well, it was just a character. It wasn't Shadai, it was Shadman. Not only do you now have to separate the art from the artist, but also separate the artist from the persona. This defense would be an excuse frequently used by Shad going forward. Shad would eventually bring this character into the real world, with an outfit that he would don for live streams and a few rare IRL appearances. Oh yeah, it's worth—
Dude, I cannot believe what they've done to Memulus. Bro, Memulus looks crazy in this video.
With an outfit that he would don for live streams and a few rare IRL appearances. Oh yeah, it's worth noting that
dude, evil Memulus be like, I don't work with I'm Alex, I draw kid.
Throughout his career, Shad has generally tried to conceal his face as much as he possibly can. As mentioned earlier, it's unknown if this was because he didn't want to be associated IRL with his art, or if he was just self-conscious.
He had to wear a mask in person. We went to a restaurant. This is before COVID.
Dude, this guy was so dedicated. He wore the mask in IRL in case anybody saw him.
He would wear a mask in public because he thought he was that relevant of a figure that he had to like hide his face in shadows. But no, somebody like that. He was the only.
Dude, could you imagine the fucking the lady, the fucking waitress comes up to you and goes, "Oh, why are you wearing a mask? COVID's not for like another 7 years." "Oh, I'm a famous YouTuber, ma'am." "Oh, that's so cute. What's your channel?" "Oh, don't look me up, ma'am."
Only one I knew in that group where he was like covering his face and everything and making a big spectacle out of it.
This is also why I only have like—
I'm a famous artist, ma'am.
Like 3 fucking photos.
What happened to Ding Dong and Julian? Is that Ding Dong, the guy who fought with Bo Blacks? That guy was probably right. I don't know what he did, but he's probably right about it, bro. Bo Black sucks.
To use as stock when I want to talk about the guy. Oh yeah, just to make this even more convoluted, there's some confusion over who the real Shad is under many of the photographed characters. Many have gone to cons, etc. and claim to be the real Shad, despite not being him, and Shad has intentionally played into this, confirming false sightings, so it's hard to tell what's a real Shadman and what's an imposter.
Literally bad empanada activities.
It's also why you see a lot of people under the false impression that Shad was actually this super buff guy in real life. I'm actually pretty sure I know who the buff Shadman imposter is, but we'll get to him later.
What?
Shortly after deciding to go it solo, Shad would decide to move to Canada. His reasons for leaving Switzerland aren't 100% known, but a popular theory is that he was kicked out of his home after drawing porn of his mother.
He what? He what now? He did what? What? Excuse me? Excuse me, hello?
Something like this would seem like justifiable grounds to disown a child, and it does always pop up whenever people discuss the worst things Shad has done. However, in all my research, I've not found a single piece of evidence that can prove this actually happened. There is an image purported to be the one in question, but it doesn't bear any resemblance to his actual mother, nor does it have—
Maybe he's just a bad artist. Have you ever considered that? It's probably right. Or he did that. I assume he did that, guys. I hate him, so I've decided he did it, okay?
Traditional MILF-like qualities. Trust me.
What?
Bear any resemblance to his actual mother, nor does it have any traditional MILF-like quality.
What you don't understand is it's his mother when she was a child, okay?
Trust me, I would know. Every time I tried to find a source for the maternal connection, I was met with, "I heard it somewhere," or "everybody just knows it." On Sleepy Cabin, there are mentions of the others meeting Shad's parents, so the disowning story doesn't seem to hold much water, unless they came to very quickly forgive their son. My guess is that he probably just made it as a joke on one of his lost live streams, and people just took it at face value and spread it around. All things considered, knowing Shad, it wouldn't even be that bizarre of a thing for him to do. In July 2009, Shad would make his Newgrounds page.
Dude, is this really a MILF? Dude, evil tipster be like, is this really a MILF?
Where he would post a selection of his non-pornographic or less explicit art. His Newgrounds was the avenue where most of the internet would first be introduced to Shad. And
then you were like hit with the pill, dude. Oh, Newgrounds, this doesn't look that bad.
Here, visitors
clicks on the website,
would be directed over to his webpage to see everything else he had made. Newgrounds, back then at least, didn't have an outlined set of rules when it came to pornographic content. And so Shad—
It's like Applebee's, it's like Taco Bell Applebee's Max, okay? First you bring them in with some awesome fucking pancakes, and then you fuck them with some NFTs! That's how they did it with his website. First you bring them in on Newgrounds with the regular artwork, then you fuck them with some lolicon!
Able to toe a close line between provocative and shit that would get you instantly banned. Shad would also begin to grow close to other Newgrounds creators, and these friendships would grow strong enough that in 2010, after a year and a half of living in Canada, Shad would move down to America to live in Philadelphia.
I thought you were doing a boogie accent. No, it was like the fucking adult Butters meme. from the COVID one.
Elphia. On the recommendation of his
Literal Francis impression. I don't know, the boogie just snuck out of me.
friend Spazkid.
I activated my inner boogie monologue.
And influenced by the fact that his dad's American citizenship would grant him immediate residence.
Nick, I'm late. Can you start over, please? All right, guys. So here's what happened with Ethan Klein. We're gonna go over the Denims video today. Sorry, we have to wind this back 4 hours. All right.
It's in the US with no need for a visa. In Philadelphia, he would become close friends with other members of the Newgrounds crew.
Boogie is just Butters if he was able to age.
Hanging out with them IRL and assisting them in the
Ethan,
production of their own
Hassan, Destiny.
animations. As Shad grew increasingly popular, he would begin to branch out onto other platforms, such as a Facebook that now sits abandoned, a Tumblr that's since been banned, and a YouTube where he would upload
Dude, Tumblr didn't even ban child porn. That's why they got taken off the App Store and they still banned him.
speed drawings of his artwork, and occasionally make videos where he would talk to his audience about topics relating to art that interested him. If you look at the sub count of this channel, even after 6 years of inactivity, you really can gauge how popular this guy was during his prime.
Yeah, 300,000 during his prime is fucking crazy. That's like a million now. That's like 10 million in shorts numbers. Like a YouTuber can hit 10 million as a shorts YouTuber faster, I'd say, than Shadman. Around the same time it took Shadman.
The only other site of note is his Twitch, where during his streams he would answer fan questions and even invite them on to talk one-on-one. Some of these conversations are the most prime form of cringe content I think I've ever encountered.
I had a similar situation, but I was on the bus and I think I made a rape joke or something, and apparently the person behind me, his sister, was raped. And he got up in my face about that, and I was just, the guy behind me.
He got a bat on the bus? Like he just happened to have like a bat?
He was like, you know, my sister was raped, and I don't think that's funny. I looked at him, I was like, you know. And
who the fuck starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
Anything's a joke if I can make something or somebody laugh, you know? And he got real defensive about it. He was like, you know, I don't think anything that can harm somebody or offend somebody is funny. I looked at him and I said, I don't care.
You should have said.
I made another.
No, you should.
I said, I don't care, and then I made another rape joke.
I'll take fake stories.
Dude, and then they all clapped, dude. They all got up and clapped for me because I sat there and I stood by my beliefs that rape was funny, dude. Wait, no, it's the wrong one. No, that's not the right one. What? That wasn't right. Hold on. Wait. It's supposed to be that one. Yes!
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. You should be embarrassed for what you just did. That does not belong in the National Hockey League.
I never hit that button. That's not. I usually don't hit that button.
For 500. Despite the kind of art Shad made, he had yet to find himself embroiled in an actual controversy. However, that would change in March of 2012, when animator Ed Gold would pass away from leukemia. Ed was somewhat prolific in the online animation space, and so as other creators expressed condolences and sadness at his passing, Shad had something else in mind. On the 26th of March 2012, Shad would update shadbase.com with an image depicting Ed Gold being molested by the Grim Reaper.
Okay. Awesome. Isn't that great?
It didn't take long for people to reach a consensus that, you know, there is a limit and Shad had just crossed it. The image was taken down and Shad would defend himself by stating that this was his own way of processing grief, and also that the public didn't really know his relationship to Ed, and Ed would most likely have been amused by such a drawing. Nevertheless,
that's crazy, dude. That's fucking crazy.
The image would stay down, and for the first time, people began to question what the motivation behind Shad's art was. Edgy is a term that pops up in almost all conversation about Shad, and it's about here that you see people begin to question Shad's artistic intentions. Until this point, his approach to art had been to maximize content output, getting as much crap out on the site as possible. But around this time, he would realize that his online career had
This is the
potential.
Boogie defense? Yeah, it literally is, dude. This is like when Boogie was talking about that, like his friend or whatever, being like, I wish you got double cancer. And it's like, dude, the reason why I said that, like, is because we had a dark sense of humor, and this is how I cope with my trauma. How dare you judge how I cope with my trauma? It's like, dude, this is literally a guy getting molested, and he just died. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what is actually wrong with you?
Or then being just one of thousands of porn artists.
Kind of 2013, 2014, 2015, they were like very, very important for me. I feel like I've grown a lot there, like just knowing about things, and I started to draw as much as I possibly can. I've just been putting out tons of shit. But then I kind of got into this thing where like I discovered streaming, and I discovered other things, and I discovered like...
Go away. Do not discover any more streaming.
That there's other ways besides drawing.
What's the name of the guy?
In the halls of
Keemstar
YouTube commentary
Orbiter?
Valhalla,
Nick
does
Oreo.
Tipster get a statue?
Mr. Oreo.
Do you think they're going to retire Tipster's number? When he fully retires for real, I think his number is going to go in the rafters. Do you think?
Talk to people, to reach out to people online, to be able
Do you think Tipster has earned his retirement?
to express myself online. That's when I kind of start to not draw as much as I possibly can anymore.
With the help of his Shadman alter ego, Shad began to transition his career into that of traditional online personality, albeit one whose brand could still be boiled down to porn. By 2015, Shad was living with Corey, Oni, Zach, and Stamper in their infamous...
Dude, that's so fucking I guess he hadn't gone completely unhinged yet, but he's literally living with, like, fucking Zach Hadel from fucking Smiling Friends, dude. That's nuts.
This Philadelphia house.
So this guy, he didn't have to pay rent. He was so fucking poor looking for a job. This guy, turns out, the limited rent she had, he was paying rent, but he was paying half of her limited rent as a little deal.
They all I don't know. I think I heard that. I don't know
Whatever
if
telling
that's
us.
fact.
I go upstairs.
Maybe it'll expand in here.
To his room to see the remnants of his
Expand.
destruction. Empty cottage cheese containers, trash littered all over the floor, and a plate of hair filled with his beard hair. For some reason, he always trimmed his beard hair.
Wait, what is happening here?
The police took me out, searched me, and found a knife on me, which was larger than I was legally allowed to possess.
From these appearances, it's clear Shad holds some pretty interesting beliefs. One that sticks out to me is how he prides himself on never going to the hospital. Clearly this man is a homo superior. Look at this fucking specimen cat. Despite...
What? So this guy wasn't an anti-vaxxer, he was just anti-medication?
His boasting, Shad would actually announce on one of his streams that he did have certain health conditions.
But sometimes I have certain health problems. I did discover that I have certain health problems. But that has nothing to do with my physical condition.
What? 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 I feel like that has everything to do with your physical health condition. What does that mean?
That's because I do certain things that I shouldn't.
And it's drugs. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, oh, I've never been to a hospital. I don't like hospitals. Meanwhile, you do crazy drugs. Oh, well, I'm self-medicated.
Keep it at that.
All artists have mental health problems. Yeah, this guy probably, like, I think every artist has, like, an inner Shadman that, like, they've been able to contain. You know, if you're like a Twitter artist, I think that you have like a Shadman inside of you, and it's your job to keep him from fucking exploding into like your main persona.
The other host's hesitance to press him about his art has been pretty well discussed. However, I think it's important to bear in mind that this was before he had done anything...
You have to control your inner Shad so you can draw pictures of cool landscapes.
Really bad. The standpoint most seem to have is that if it's drawn, then it's not real and can't harm anyone. It's a perspective that was far more common in 2015 and shared by most of the internet.
But then in 2016, or no, it wasn't even after this, like, oh, it can't hurt real people until he drew real people. Like that, this is the kind of fucking insane person we're dealing with here. The narrative is, they're not real people, they can't hurt us. So let's push the envelope even further. Let's make them real people. Oh, well...
And since then, each member has in some way indicated that they no longer support Shad or his art. So when people say X or Y was once friends with Shad and therefore they're evil, But to be fair, Shad has some moments where he makes a point so outrageously brain dead. It does get quite frustrating to see nobody even attempt to dispute the sewage that just came out of his mouth.
I think there's...
Yeah, it was cool to be friends with the edgy guy back then. So these guys are all completely fucking...
What's the name of the guy? Keemstar Orbiter? Nick Oreo. Mr.
It's
Oreo.
hard to see how you judge this stuff.
Shadman is a huge reason on why I don't revisit Sleepycast now. I get pretty angry looking back at how vibed and pussyfooty he was about retelling his story.
It's
wild, man.
It's a bit frustrating because, like, obviously
really
the reason,
long?
like, obviously these people aren't going to be, like, fucking hit heavily and people aren't going to go back and like relitigate this because I mean they like these guys. The truth of the matter is that like this stuff is disgusting. The stuff that they defended is gross. Hot take here, I know, nuclear, sorry. But like nobody really wants to go back and go like, hey, Zach Hadel, it's pretty fucking cringe that you guys were so cool with this dude who's obviously up to some like crazy, insane shit. And the fact is that like so many people are implicated in defending this guy that there isn't going to be like a big day of reckoning or anything like that. And maybe there should, maybe there shouldn't be. But like so many of these guys are implicated. Half the people who'd probably say something were involved. You know, I don't think that like anybody's coming to police this now because so many of your favorite content creators defended this dude.
There's a huge hypocrisy with the whole child pornography thing, like this unspoken thing.
You can kind of just wait and see how people react when everybody retires.
That's so like the majority of grown guys are into it. However, they will not admit to it. You think so? And that shows by, you know, the majority. You know what the most popular pornography
Wait, are you saying the majority of people are into that?
Yeah.
What's your favorite flavor of candle? Recently I got like an apple candle, and I thought that would be stupid because it's fucking Apple. Who needs an apple candle? But I thought that shit smelled crazy good, yo.
Yes, you know, teen.
You hear that,
Thank
guys?
you for the question.
Shad can't be a deviant because you, yes, you the viewer are a nonce. I've notified authorities. Their willingness to defend Shad
No, dude, he used the knocking sound. That's unhinged.
Been bolstered by Shad himself, who was described as exceptionally polite and shy in public.
We were all out
Yeah, he's exceptionally polite and shy in public, yet he wears a mask. This guy's just a complete weirdo. Could you imagine being at VidCon and this dude literally walks up to you in a mask? I'm sorry. No, it's okay. You could just take that off now. This is really fucking cringe.
Having dinner earlier.
And my friend Shad was there. And Shad is a very quiet, respectful young man who doesn't...
He doesn't do anything bad.
He doesn't... No, he doesn't...
Like, it's just a running joke that this guy is like an unhinged maniac. It makes no sense. And I think mostly hitting the people who are like, this is a free speech issue over Daphne Keane. Like, I think that is just some... I tried to explain this to Elvis the Alien, why people were mad at him. And I could believe that Elvis didn't really know what he was promoting or didn't really look into it and just kind of went with the flow. But you could never take away the fact that when you look up Shadman's account on the night that he's parading that his website got, like, reinstated and you can go back onto it, like, one of the first 3 things he tweeted was a direct retweet of Elvis the Alien. And it's, like, forever in the archival screenshot. And it looks unhinged.
Doesn't instigate much shit, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
When the meal was finished, he wrote his receipt, and I grabbed...
Like, this is about Daphne Keane. This is about the fucking thing that Shad drew. His website was taken down, and it's being described as a free speech issue. I'm sorry, but, like, before you guys sign up to defend this as free speech, you probably should even inquire what he's done before you post a tweet in solidarity.
It, and I drew a really
and it's reasonable to expect that you did.
Cringy picture of him on it. I made him look like a retarded Simpsons character.
Isn't it normal for a faceless YouTuber to wear a mask at conventions? At a convention, on the convention floor, maybe. If I'm going with them to Applebee's, maybe they shouldn't go to VidCon. Personally, that's just my position. If you have to wear a fucking mask to McDonald's, you should probably just not attend the convention.
And then I put a speech bubble saying, "Take it easy, babe."
If you're walking on the VidCon floor, be my guest. But nobody actually does that.
And he's like, "What the fuck? I am so embarrassed. I want to leave now." So funny. Here's the picture.
As the story ends, be sure to throw up the photo.
Here it is.
There are actually some indications...
Jesus, this guy's actually pretty funny. That's good.
The photo.
Take it easy, baby.
There are actually some indications that not everyone was totally chill with Shad, even back then.
Everybody that we knew was like, no, drawings are just drawings. They can't hurt anybody. He's the nicest guy. like, you should really be friends with him. And then he'd come over and it'd be like, hey, so do you want to talk about how Hitler was right and he knew what he was... I'm doing a shitty impression.
I know, but that is what he would do every time. That's why we keep hearing things about how he's so nice.
You fucking...
And it's like, no, I
It's
know.
like, dude, drawings are drawings, but that guy was a little weirdly obsessed with Hitler. It's like, no, I mean, that's bad, sure, but like, can we go back to the drawings are just drawings point, please? Can we expand on what your thoughts are there?
Keemstar Orbiter, Nick Oreo, Mr.
No, what you mean
Oreo.
Nice now is that he's going to align with the shitty things you like to do too.
In a video on the Only Plays prequel channel, Rice Pirate Plays a Game, other Sleepy Cabin collaborator Johnny Utah has a pretty tense discussion with Shad about pedophiles.
All pedophiles...
Pedophilia is wrong.
Pedophilia is wrong. Pedophiles should be burned alive.
Is this the game that Vosh was playing during the iconic clip?
I never said that.
I did. Pedophiles should be burned alive.
Holy shit, dude. We've got a badass over here. Do you remember when everyone used to get mad when people said stuff like this? They'd like stop the stream. They're like, dude, whoa, that's a crazy take, yo.
Eyeballs should be scooped out first, and then they should be burned alive. And then, what else? What else did I say?
What gives you the right?
What?
What gives you the right to judge them like that?
Wait, he's serious. That's not even a joking tone of voice. No, that's... Whoa. Okay. That's a... Whoa.
The right to fuck children.
By the way, why is Keffels on this? Never mind.
Discussion with Shad about pedophiles.
All pedophiles...
Pedophilia is wrong.
Pedophilia is wrong. Pedophiles should be burned alive.
I never said that.
I did. Pedophiles should be burned alive. Their eyeballs should be scooped out. What else? What else did I say?
What gives you the right?
Dude, that's insane. That's dude, there are not many wrong answers that you could say, right? That is the wrong answer.
Children. What gives me the right?
Yeah.
Because I say so.
Who do you think you are?
Jack.
I'm not going to try to psychoanalyze this gameplay session, but later comments by Jeff seem to imply that he was skeptical of Shad and his artwork even all the way back in 2015.
As much as you guys think, like, I have an issue with Jeff or something, he's actually a great guy. He's actually a great guy.
Wait, why would you have an issue with him?
Just, the man has a bit of a thin skin, but...
What?
A lot of people do nowadays.
That's not even a backhanded compliment, that's just an insult phrased as a compliment. Around the end of...
Listen, you guys think that I hate Bo Blacks. No, I mean, I think he's a pathetic little wretch, but, like, he's actually a really good guy, you know? I think Bo Blacks is pathetic. I don't think he'll ever be successful. I don't think he makes, like, enough money to support his lifestyle and outspends constantly while he's doing it, and he probably can't make rent, but I do think he's, like, a really good guy, you know?
Sleepy Cabin's first season, a majority of its members would move across the country to LA. Ah, you know it's a good day whenever I get to use my LA stock footage. In the early days of living in LA, Shad was likely staying with or very near to Mick Lauer, aka Rice Pirate. Honestly,
Dude, Mick Lauer, if you guys don't know, he is the voice of the main character in Hunt Down the Freeman. In case you're unaware who that is.
What's the name of the guy? Keemstar Orbiter.
So if you've never seen this guy before, you could know him from the iconic line.
Bro really called the co-creator of Newgrounds. Thin skin. Wow.
Dude, if you guys have ever heard the iconic phrase, "You fucked up my face," that was Mick Lauer. Unironically, dude, I think that they should pay him to film like a sequel, like a spiritual successor, and get all the original YouTubers back to cover it. I need to hear it. I need to hear it, dude. Hunt Down the Freeman cutscenes. You lied to me. No! You used me. The worst part of Hunt Down the Freeman is that they edited it and they took out all the funny YouTubers. Let me see. Is this it? This is it, dude. Oh, you've been compromised! Yeah. Is that Seer? That's Seer, right?
Look. Mitch, please. Mitchell, look, I can explain.
You lied to me.
No, that wasn't the deal. He told me. Mitch, please.
You betrayed me. You used me.
You fucked up my face.
You fucked up my face. And now...
Mitch, please. I can explain.
You have my permission to die.
That's Mick Lauer, in case you didn't know. I absolutely love Hunt Down the Freeman. Also, this is a Kiwi Farm screenshot on Maine.
Employee to check out the Kiwi farms around this time. Shad put up a single picture of his window view, and within 24 hours, people were debating over the specific square foot on Google Earth where he lived. At some point, Mick would inherit Incan treasure and move into his own place over in Burbank. I'm sure nothing of note happened in that house. It's theorized that Shad followed Mick and would start to live in his new house.
My milky teacup.
Wait, what is the music in the background?
I should not draw with Copics markers on cups. That's not gonna come out. Shit, Mick is gonna be pissed.
But we don't have any
What was that? Does anybody know the name of that song?
Milky teacup. I should not draw with Copics markers.
Is Clown here? Hey, what's going on? Play your part? Yeah, I actually played it the other night on stream. I was thinking, is that the song from that part of the thing? Hold on. Hunt Down the Freeman. I forgot what stream it was. We went through this whole fucking thing. Your name! What is... I don't care about your rank. What is your name? Hold on. Hunt Down the fucking Freeman cutscenes. I don't care about your rank. Your name. What is your name? Here. It wasn't a curse. Here it is. I wish Bunty King had any major speaking roles, but he was just kind of a grunt.
Do not neglect to show hospitality to strangers.
I recorded it in a closet with pillows around a blue Yeti microphone. They did no post-processing, and it was supposed to be outdoors in the rain.
For by this, some have entertained angels without knowing it. Hebrews 13:2.
Hebrews?
Welcome aboard, gentlemen. I am Captain Roosevelt.
Guys, I never thought what Clown looked like, you know what I mean? But then I saw this and I kind of just pictured this is what he looked like for a while.
I am Captain Roosevelt. Tell me, who is in charge of all these warriors?
Dude, this is like the he picked me on the prom night. Like the music just this is great. Wait. Like you lock eyes during the homecoming dance.
Please step up. Your name, young man?
I'm Sergeant...
I have no interest in your rank. Your name. Who are you?
Mitchell.
Mitchell, huh?
Wait, the best part,
Yes, Mitchell. A name with many meanings. For some, the meaning is a gift from God. For others, who is like God? Which one are you, Mitchell? Are you a gift from God sent to save us? Or perhaps you are God himself, come to doom our worthless lives?
Perhaps.
He's cursed.
Dude, I hate everything. Just jumping in, bro. It gets me every time. Like, Cloud's going on this whole rant about, like, the name and what it means, and all of a sudden, he's cursed.
Doom our worthless lives.
Perhaps.
He's cursed.
Also, I hate everything is like, am I forgetting this? Did they get I hate everything to? Am I crazy? He's British, right? I'm forgetting this right now. This didn't even click. Why is he doing an American accent? They got a British YouTuber to do an American accent. Why? Why did they do this?
Cursed lives.
Perhaps.
He's cursed.
Cursed, eh? what kind of curse is this?
Welcome to acting? I mean, but they're all, like, supposed to be, like... The idea is that they're, like, kind of playing... Not themselves, right? But it's like, I got this YouTuber to sound like himself, to sell the game, right? Like Pyro said, we've been compromised.
Nothing but some bullshit.
That was still
Whoever
British.
is at the top of his command dies. Colonel Q, Sergeant Harvey, they're all dead.
It sounds like he's trying to do a fucking American
But whatever
accent.
happens, he lives.
General Zhao.
It's just a coincidence.
Maybe it is, I don't know.
There's no such thing as a curse.
We'll see about that, Sergeant.
Also, like, why is Clown mad now? Like, nothing's even happened, and he's just like, we'll see about that one.
You and your men from now on are under my command. Welcome to Avalon Vale, and welcome to the crew.
So then, like, right after this, Colossal just instantly dies. I think when the game first came out, the mission didn't load, so he's like, welcome to the crew, and then immediately after, Clown explodes.
It's not a curse. You made a deal with the devil.
I did not get paid for this, Clown. You deserved a million awards.
You have it.
I think commentary should fund a sequel and get everybody back involved, okay? I think we need to get this train back on the fucking station. Actually pay them this time.
Well, it looks like you're the captain.
Why are we doing Creator Clash? Why can't we fund Hunt Down the Freeman too? You know how much money we could raise for fucking kids with cancer if we created a fucking Source game that is the sequel to this, but doubled down on the YouTubers?
To now, Captain Mitchell.
I gotta play the fucking... I'm sorry. If we're gonna deviate this hard and fuck up the VOD, we're gonna immediately go to
Creatures can be many things, but they're not stupid.
Do you know something we don't, Black Ops?
Well, I guess I do.
Well, maybe you should open your mouth and start talking.
The aliens are coming. We've been compromised.
Spit it out, Corporal.
Oh, Colonel. We are so fucked.
Dude, fucking Pyro. I think, wasn't Bunty in this scene? No, Bunty was just like a generic grunt. He didn't really have speaking lines or anything. But then there was the president.
At this very idea
Who paid for this game? Apparently nobody.
is anathema to our core values and everything we hold dear. Yet, the fact and hard truth remains that we lost this battle.
Dude, that is the best line delivery I've ever heard. We lost this battle. One take, put it in the game. We're never gonna get a second take, just put it in. And I like how this is read like it's a Twitter video.
And everything
Like he's doing the drama alert voice, yeah.
we hold dear. Yet, the fact and hard truth remains that we lost
This battle.
for now. And believe me, we will
I
live
just saw
to
Keffel's tweet on Nicholas DeOrio.
We will live to fight another day, guys. Also, we're surrendering.
fight another day. We shall return. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
And like the main character is just like, dude, this is so powerful.
I never voted for this guy.
Sky Williams, dude. Sky Williams, ladies and gentlemen.
Of America.
I never voted for this guy.
I guess you don't understand the situation, my friend. We're all dead men walking.
Those things. The only thing we know for sure is those things are smarter than we thought.
Alright, he's British. I was totally wrong earlier.
Think about it. The first hour they come through the portals, but not just random locations. First, those motherships targeted the military bases. So they cut...
He really got into it. I hate everything really got into it.
All the firepower we had. Then they released the grunts to the...
Is there any other timestamps here that are like in the comments to jump into? My mother's... Oh, this one's great. This is Sky Williams' best line.
My mother's dead.
He's proud of you.
Hello? Me? I did not volunteer, sir.
If your mother was alive, she'd be proud of you, son.
My mother's dead.
Jesus fucking Christ. This is unironically art, dude. I literally have been campaigning for this to get a sequel for years. Alright? This is literally the best thing ever. Why is everyone the same? The aliens are coming! We've been compromised! I think we need to send Clown in to get Pyro to fucking get back on the horse, dude. And, like, do his role. We'll even keep Turkey Tom out of the game, alright? We can make this work. We can figure this out, alright? We just need to find a game developer who makes bad games, alright? On the Source engine. We need to find someone who can do this worse than before. What is this? Let's admit it. This is the part you're here for. Ah, we watched that one already. Is that I Hate Everything? And is that Pyrocynical? How did all these people get here? The dramatic handshake.
Mitchell. Godspeed, Mitchell.
Yeah, like, these guys are going in for a handshake with their left hand. That's just something so small in comparison to the rest of the game. Holy shit, dude. I heard the Shadman makes games. No, no! Alright, back to what we're doing. Holy shit, dude.
Markers
Shadman.
on cups. That's not gonna come out. Shit, Mick is gonna be pissed.
But we don't have any definitive confirmation of whether it was Mick's house or Shad's own place. This period is when I would consider Shad to be at his peak, in terms of popularity and presence in the online zeitgeist. He was responsible for the creation of many bizarre and comical pseudo-pornographic images that would become extremely popular. And by looking at any of his social media profiles, you would assume he was just like any other not safe for work artist. He was just a quirky old quirkster who would go to the weird and wacky places no one else was willing to go. He was certainly embraced by the alt web, with e-girls galore thirsting after and cosplaying him, and edgy
Dude, really? E-girls always go after the weirdest shit. I'll never understand it, dude. Like, like the person who made, like, the Turkey Tom shrine.
dudes wearing his merch to school and shit like that.
Like, do you remember the Nazi girl or whatever that, like, Leafy was going after? There were some weird fucking people, like, e-girl trends around this time.
Shad's artistic influence at this time began to less resemble a fanbase, but more so an entire aesthetic. As the so-called culture war intensified online, Shad promoted an internet vibe that was unapologetic, shameless, and dripping with edge. He, without a doubt, had a significant hand in shaping alternative culture on the internet. Today, if you look at the prevalence of e-girls and femboys on TikTok, Twitter, and my hard drive, the growth of that entire subculture can be traced back to 2016 and create—
Dude, Shadman is literally responsible for the e-girl trend.
Crazy. Like Shad. His output of lolly and Shota stuff would still continue, but any serious attempts at criticism were usually shot down by his diehard fans, who would typically cite freedom of expression and, of course, the tried and true defense of, it's just a bit. It was at the beginning of 2016 that Shad would have a page about him made on Kiwi Farms. Here, users would begin to document his activities and keep a record of everything he squirted out on his website. Immediately following its creation, many were actually unsure as to whether Shad warranted a page. Since his online activities didn't resemble the typical antics of a lolcow, Shad would very soon be giving them a lot more to talk about. Moving into 2016,
who's got the clip? No e-girls, never!
Shad's general MO
yeah, he squirted it out.
Was to make porn of whatever was trending at the time, be it games, movies, politics, or even internet drama. More often than not, he would take an underage character from the IP, or just age down an adult, and draw them making a sus face. And of course, throw in some shitty memes for background noise while he was at it. It was through this
and it's like, you couldn't possibly not know this is what he was doing at the time, because this is literally what he was known for. This is like if somebody turned around and said, like, dude, I had no idea that, like, the EFAP podcast was covering movies. I thought they were, like, just, like, a trending topics thing. Or, like, trying to explain, like, I had no idea, dude, that, like, that Hassan Piker covered politics. I had no idea that Dark Viper AU played GTA 5. I had no clue. But after I saw him play GTA 5, then I knew that he, like, played GTA 5.
Method Shad was able to grow as fast as he did. When people saw art of a character from a particular game or show, that art would naturally make its way to the circles of the fandom, who would see this risque art, usually accompanied by the promise of more on shadbase.com, and then be guided, dick in hand, towards Shad's website and socials. The next significant event for Shad would be his first major controversy, which unfolded in late 2016, in the wake of the presidential election. In May 2016, Ian Hecox, aka iDubbbz, would publish content cop Keemstar. And in the aftermath of the video, and for the rest of the year, Keemstar was more or less public enemy #1 on the
Dude, when the election came, there was only one thing he could do. Draw Keemstar's daughter.
internet. Also that year, the election.
Was this the same year that Tana Mojo said she would, like, send nudes to everybody? No, that was the next election. Well, no, it wasn't. It was this election, wasn't it? Did she say it for, like, anybody who votes for Hillary Clinton she'd send nudes to, and then people told her that was illegal? Also, yeah, that's not the same Ian. I didn't even catch that. Yeah, no, that's Ian Jomha, dude. Ian Jomha. That's the guy from Smosh. You totally... Dude, this video is invalid. He literally just slandered the guy from Smosh. You're right.
November, during polling,
Dude, back when Ian Klein did this, dude.
Shad would announce that if Donald Trump won the presidency, he would draw Keemstar's daughter. Oh, shit. It's hard to tell if the entire promise was a joke, and Shad, like many others, didn't actually anticipate Trump winning. But regardless, shortly after the results of the election were announced, Shad would produce a collage of Keemstar's daughter, in various non-pornographic, but still very suggestive poses. Shortly after hearing of the image, Michael Keem would publicly announce that he was planning to take legal action.
Wait, what did he just say? Michael Keem? Wait, what? I don't even want to go back, but like...
Shortly after hearing of the image, Michael Keem would publicly announce...
Michael Keem? Is he doing this on purpose? He's doing this on purpose, right? That's the second name in a row he's completely butchered, dude. I'm gonna start calling Keem Michael from now on. I think Keem is canonically Michael, right? Are we going with this for now on? Are we gonna keep this bit going? Keem is canonically Michael.
Announced that he was planning to take legal action against Shad. Nowadays, people cite this as one of the worst things Shad has done, but I think people forget back then just how much hatred.
Also, I don't know if this video shows it, and I didn't even know this was the case until recently, but like the clothed images of Keem's daughter are not the only ones he drew. I confirmed with Keem directly, and he's like, this is fuck that you're even asking me this question, but yes. He actually did draw fucking Keem's daughter doing a sex act. That 100% did happen. It was created. It does exist.
There was for Keemstar. And the fact this was one of the few things that actually got to Keemstar, there was a very sizable crowd that supported...
Yeah, people constantly say, well, the pictures of Keem's daughter weren't explicit. He did draw, like, explicit ones. Those are just the ones that you see.
Shad during this time. A few days later, Colossal is Crazy, who was then friends with Keemstar, would tweet about his...
There's a KFC in Yemen!
Big Mike Keem.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you. So now we're going to watch the clown interview. The clown debate. This is like one of the earliest YouTube debates I've ever seen.
For the image and the other art on shadbase.com. Following these tweets, Shad would allow Colossal onto one of his streams.
The craziest thing is, like, Clown is like one of the only respectable YouTubers in this situation, other than Keem, who's like a direct victim, who's jumped in to like actually fight this guy on his own streams.
Where he pressed Shad about the morals of making such a picture. The discussion would conclude with Shad admitting to Colossal he had gone too far.
Let me just be very clear. I was not calling you a paedophile. What I did was say what you did by drawing this picture, putting it in context on your website with a bunch of other pictures of little naked girls, was
Totally understand. You understand that it was obviously part of like the controversial nature of the picture to post it under such context.
It started off as a controversial
What's
joke.
the name of the guy from Keemstar Orbiter? Nick Orio.
Thank you,
Mr.
thank you, thank
Oreo.
you. Dude, it's like literally they just try to shield, they try to like mask this guy's activities so many different ways. Like the stuff that he's doing, he's not into kids, dude. He's just drawing it because it's edgy. Or like, this is like, dude, you're seeing these characters. This character's not even a real person. Who's gonna be upset by it or whatever? Yeah.
Yes.
You didn't go through with it.
I wouldn't. I would have never. I would have never.
I'm 99% sure he did go through with it after this conversation with Colossal, which makes this even more unhinged.
Yeah, it's pretty f***ing weird. Let's all agree, and I think you're kind of a weird guy.
I totally am. I that's my thing. I
I'm
totally
sure you're
am.
a nice person, but you're a bit of a weird f***.
He did, yeah. Clown literally confirms it. So, like, even after this conversation, he acknowledges all this stuff is wrong, and he literally went on to do it.
I would not argue with that.
The discussion was incredibly amicable, and at the end, Shad would announce he was going to take it down. I think it's interesting that on Twitter, Shad will defend his art to the death, but as soon as he's put in a situation where he actually has to engage in dialogue with another, he folds almost immediately. Like, just time this. Time how long it takes for him to throw all of his anything is permissible in art beliefs out the window.
But I do feel like there are sexual connotations regarding that picture. Would you agree?
Totally agree. Yes, totally agree. Colossal, I respect you like a hell of a lot. And just like man to man, if you think it would be better for me to take it down, I would take it down just out of respect to you.
Like, this is so fucking crazy, dude. This guy pretends to be like an edgy fucking, I think, how did he describe it? Like a fashy character or whatever. Listen, man, I respect you, Colossal. I respect you so much. Yeah, no, I agree. This is sexual or whatever. And he ends the stream, and then he starts playing like fucking bad boy, edgy, suicidal music, and he's like, I have to draw worse. I must draw worse.
I think that would be wonderful.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do that right fucking now.
This guy throws on some like fucking Linkin Park, dude. He plays like In the End, it doesn't even matter, all right? And then he just starts drawing Keem's daughter again.
Take it down out of respect to fucking Colossal.
I think this whole event is pretty telling of who Shad is. When hiding behind his Shadman persona online, he had no problem engaging in highly technical debate to justify what he was doing. And you could observe this in real time upon when he returned to Twitter after the stream ended. As soon as he was back in the safety of his persona and shielded by his followers and defenders, he backtracked on his agreement with Colossal and put the image back up, albeit with the disclaimer that he was only doing this to prove it wasn't CP. What? And of course, despite the negative attention
So anyways, then he drew CP.
He was receiving, Shad also experienced a huge boost in engagement and followers. Seeing this, Shad likely deduced that the fastest way to keep the attention on him was to continue down this road of fostering controversy. Morals or minors be damned. And so, he set his eyes on a—
That is a horrible sentence. Holy shit. I don't even want to repeat that. What the fuck, dude?
new target. Less than a week after the Keemstar incident, he basically did the exact same thing again. This time with 12-year-old commentary YouTuber Lieutenant Corbus.
Bro, that's another one. I always forget the Lieutenant Corbus shit too.
Towards the end of 2016,
like, it literally was 3 real people
and foul
back to back to back.
Foulvedness.
I guess I almost got injured because I know I didn't almost die.
These images were arguably even more explicit than the Keemstar ones, and once again a wave of discourse began concerning Shad and his motives. At this point, the conversation—
Oh shit, an actual child? Yeah, but when you put her on screen and let her talk, it sounds even worse.
Over on his page on Kiwi Farms had fully transitioned from mild disdain into full-on spiteful documentation. What can be observed here is Shad descending down into a cycle.
No, this is what happens when you tell a psychopath and you let them get away with the whole— It's just, you know, it's just drawings, dude. These aren't real people. But the edgy fucking guy is gonna be like, oh, really? It's just drawings? It's not real people? Oh, yeah? Well, watch what this looks like, dude. And then he just started drawing real fucking kids. Like, that's crazy.
Of trying to maintain relevancy at whatever cost. By branding himself as the edgelord who draws offensive shit, he had to keep pushing the limits of what he was drawing to keep attention on himself. And so fictional characters and even fictional children weren't enough anymore. And it would be his next project involving a real child that would push his career over the edge. Oh yeah, at the very end of 2016, ex-MrBeast friend Ava, then going by Chris Tyson, tweeted out this. There's surely no way this could become relevant later. On March the 1st, 2017, the film Logan would release.
Bro, in any other context, it's like, oh wow, Logan, okay. But when you're talking about Shadman, it's just really dark, dude. This is really dark.
Starring the then 11-year-old Daphne Keane as
11! She was fucking 11!
23. Shad, prior to the film's release, would make multiple jokes on his Discord about his apparent joke attraction to the underage actress. It's just a joke, you guys. It was a prank. We were just fooling. Actually, from many accounts, Shad's Discord was a very sus place, with various issues including minors being allowed into 18+ servers, mods abusing their power, and various unverified reports of incredibly unsavory conversations taking place there. The Discord has since been wiped, but we can assume it was an absolute den of epic, edgy humor. My sense of humor is a little dark for your taste.
Dude, he's a fucking jonkler.
With
uh-oh. Alright, this is probably where I'm going to stop watching the video. I'm going to watch this part and then we're going to move on, because I'm going to send you there to watch the last couple parts of it. This is a pretty good video.
the depravity was in the eye of the beholder. But here, it was front and center. It shot past the classification.
This is like the most disgusting thing Shadman has ever done.
Of porn and into the realm of sadistic fantasy. Shadai's defense for this piece was that the character of X-23 was a fictional character, despite the character being the same age of the actress playing her. And this... yeah, this was too much for most.
Lately, Shadman's been non-stop posting lolicon. Now, you might say, so, well, people could be into whatever they want. And normally, I'd agree with you. However, this time, it's different. Shadman has been posting lolly specifically targeting real people. And no, I'm not talking about Hillary Clinton. I'm talking about Lieutenant Corvus and Keemstar. Again, let me reiterate. Okay, I'm not going to read that out loud because it's going to get clipped. But two little innocent girls or whatever, even with the shit Keemstar is giving people, he's still a father to his daughter. Yeah.
There was still the edgelords.
Yeah, I'm not reading that part out loud, but that's crazy.
The art of this. Made aware of the drawings, they do much for Daphne Keene's legal team. Presumably after being made aware of the drawings.
And again, it wasn't just images and drawings. He drew like a comic book. This was explained to me last time we covered this. Somebody came on and explained it to me. He drew like a comic book of like Hugh Jackman raping this character.
Drawings, they issued a legal threat to Shadai, and soon after the art in question came down, along with his entire website. Shad initially claimed that the site coming down had nothing to do with the Keene situation or any such similar content, and would instead make a couple of jokes that implied his infringement of Roblox IP was somehow responsible. But this was soon proven false when he came forward and informed his followers that her lawyer...
Yeah, dude, we're the litigation counsel for actress Daphne Keene, a 12-year-old minor. We've become aware of a website, shadbase.com, that has posted a pornographic anime cartoon depicting our child naked and engaged in explicit sexual acts. The locations and URLs are listed here below. No more X-23, that's a no-no, even though it's a fictional character. Jesus fucking Christ. And then people saw this tweet, okay, and were like, fuck, dude. They've infringed upon his free speech. And you have to, like, sit here and tell me that these guys didn't know what they were tweeting about. You have to read this tweet and tell me. The crazy thing I can remember is literally nobody called this shit out at the time, and every YouTuber is following him on Twitter. Yeah, clown, they did like an Epstein's list going through all these people and asking them questions after Chris Tyson. But the crazy thing is, this happens, and if you go to check the website where the archive is, you're greeted immediately with like Elvis the Alien, who I obviously does not support this stuff in current day. And I don't even think he supported Lolly. But these guys just bought into this free speech thing, and it's so fucking crazy. Let me see if I can find any of this. I gotta look up Elvis the Alien from my account. I don't know if it's been like deleted because it's been years or whatever, but Elvis the Alien. I spelled alien wrong. Let me see. So Lav. How did I get Lav? How did Lav come up? No. I'm never gonna find this right now. Not in real time. Bad streamer moding. At Elvis the Alien, maybe? Maybe even... I might even be able to find... Maybe I DM'd it to Elvis. I'm not going to show his DMs here, but I think we argued over this. And I think maybe I linked it to him? Yeah, I have it. Here. Dude, on the day Shadman rose from the dead, I literally have it. Shadman rose from the fucking dead. And this is the forever, like when you go to the archive to see like the day Shadman was like unbanned, you open it up and you see like Shadman retweeted, weird art, very weird, but I'm in full support of your website staying up. It's people, it's the people that demand this art that I am personally critical of. And like you now know, like this is what they're talking about, okay? They're talking about you drew anime cartoon images of a real fucking 11-year-old, 12-year-old child, okay? And then people go to Twitter, and I don't know who these other people are. Like Shadman, if you're an NSFW artist, you're supporting a site taken down, you're pulling the rope around your own neck. Maybe don't just draw children. When I called him out, I remember I Am Alex tried to have a go at me for censorship. That's been long since deleted, clown, but I believe it. That guy's fucking insane. Master of Masters, Shadbase is back. And then you open the page and you see that like, immediately Elvis the Alien. And then he's like, guys, I literally lose money on my website. It's a passion project for me. And then it's like, boom, Elvis the alien is just forever locked in the screenshot of him announcing that he's returned. And that's why Elvis gets shit for it. But ultimately, I don't know how these people read this shit and they were like, dude, there are some real free speech problems with taking down the guy who drew a child getting raped on his website. Like a real life child getting raped.
Had issued his site provider with a legal threat.
Way before, yeah.
Resulting...
Well, most of Alex's history is like lost to time because after the Slazo stuff, he purged tons of shit. And then like even more. Clown, what are your thoughts? I haven't fucking had a chance to really ask anybody this year. What are your thoughts on I'm Alex dodging for like an entire year after his abuse allegations came out? I don't know where he's at right now. I want to do a retrospective stream. We're going to go through all the Alex shit again. We're going to literally loop back around because nothing happened. We're going to start again. We're going to fucking Omni-Man this, all right? We're going to wait a couple of years and we're going to start again. He's never coming back. I mean, that'd be good. But I kind of wish we got to watch him squirm, you know? I kind of wish we got to see him squirm.
In Shadbase coming down.
I could start again. Have a new kid.
This would eventually come back up, minus the X23 art. Here you saw the first wave of people critiquing.
I've heard he's editing for a big YouTuber, and I can't confirm. That's like a death sentence for him, though, because his ego was always huge. He always had a massive fucking ego, dude.
And you know what else is massive?
Yeah, that's like he's cursed to John Swan, dude. He's cursed to John Swan out. As a YouTube editor.
Those who had in the past supported or affiliated themselves with Shad. In response to this, some still defended their friendships with him.
Whose video is this? This is up-and-coming YouTuber Node Armstrong, okay? Very good so far. We're going to finish this segment out, and then I'm going to link you to him.
Again, the separation of art and artist. Although this time the defense of anything should be permissible to draw was mysteriously absent. Likewise, many stated they didn't necessarily condone what Shad was doing, but personal
like this is... Okay, let me read this. I want to see what they actually wrote back then. I would say you shouldn't have this large of a fan base given your general immaturity, but this is pretty rich coming from the guy who actively associates with a person who draws child porn for a living, so I guess anything is a joke, and anyone who says otherwise is stupid. Shad has had my back since the day I've known him. Like, that's the wrong answer to this fucking statement. He selflessly helped me out in bad situations, and the stuff he draws is not... Oh, dude, come on. I actually do not understand, bro. There are so many of your favorite YouTubers that are implicated in all this that, like... I don't think anybody's ever gonna fucking, like, go after these guys for these fucking takes. Brittany Hyman. Is that related to the other one? I don't know. Sorry, I draw the line at pedophiles, especially those who've drawn porn of, like, literally actual real-life children. So this is post this other stuff. And then he goes, I don't look at the stuff he draws. It doesn't concern me. I see why people would get mad at that specifically, but it's just drawings. Focus on taking down literal child rapists and murderers IRL. Like this, why was this argumentation born for Shadman and then used to annoy people for years?
Experience with him.
Oh, I said Hyman. It's Heyman. I was thinking of Joel Heyman and Hyman came out of my mouth.
Gave them reassurance that he wasn't a bad person. Some, however, decided that a connection to Shad wasn't a worthy hill to die on. According to later testimony from Spaz Kid, it was during this time that most of the old Sleepy Cabin friend group would start to take issue with the content Shad was creating, and as a result begin to distance themselves from him.
Hyman came out of my mouth. Shut up.
Kind of fucked up that
It is Hyman? Oh, then I was right. Astaghfirullah, Oni. The Quran says that you shouldn't draw Daphne Keane.
Ooh, he's being edgy. Okay. How about the fact he was drawing actual children, not safe for work art of actual children, and sending it to them and doing it more than once? And people knew he did that and continued to make defenses saying that, well, he's got my back, so... But yes, back at the time when we were still living in LA, I brought it up. It was a lot of people there at the time. But I remember I brought it up because people were saying it was fine at the time, and I said myself, I could never get...
Dude, talking about Shadman drawing Lolicon while playing fucking big tournament golf goes crazy, yo.
...behind somebody who was seriously drawing artwork of...
Let's not quote the Quran on this one. Astaghfirullah, Navy! Alright, did you know that the fucking minor who Muhammad married made a lot of hymns? Alright, have you even considered that?
Actual kids and sending it to them like that.
That was always my problem.
Yeah, did you not know Aisha was one of the top known scholars of Islam? Yeah, you fucking asshole. You didn't even know that, did you? Yeah, you had to learn it from me, dude. She wrote all the hymns.
That's always my problem with it, is I think that goes to show that...
Meanwhile, this stream is brought to you by Hymns, the official underwear.
What you're getting off on is the idea of ruining a kid's life.
The official underwear of Islam, dude.
Anything else
No,
about it.
it's just harm was the point.
I expect they saw the writing on the wall, and as they moved on to bigger and better things, someone like Shad, whose only goal seemed to be to offend people, was probably the last type of person you would want to be connected to. In April of 2017, Shad would have a brief Twitter spat with Tomska over the previously discussed Eddsworld image. Tom effectively called out Shad for drawing...
Alright, you want to... I should check the end segment, the conclusion, or the aftermath? Let's check out the conclusion from here. Guys, if you want to watch Rapid Decline in Arrests, you can find that. It's like the last 10 minutes of this video on this guy's channel. Again, shout out to Node Armstrong or whatever. I don't want to watch the whole fucking thing here, but
most content discussing Shad is pretty sensationalist. Like, painting this guy as a fucking twisted psycho who's responsible for...
I think we should crowdfund Hunt Down the Freeman too, dude. I think we should literally do it. I think we should do it, and it should be like a charity thing too.
Untold horrors. I'm guilty of this as well in the video you're watching, but I think looking
And you're asking, like, why would we pay YouTubers if we could just donate money to charity instead? And I'm a total hypocrite, dude. If it means we get Hunt Down the Freeman too, fuck it, dude. All right? We have to fund this game, all right?
And that way, not only warps the truth of who he was, but feeds into his own fantasies of being this mythical edgelord who became this urban legend of the web. I think Shaddai got off on the LARP of being a supervillain, which for someone who seems to have been pretty powerless for most of their life, must have been one hell of a power trip. Despite his pleading that he was misunderstood by the university staff, I think Shad...
No, he was probably understood pretty well, yeah. So much outrage over taboo drawings and jokes. Is fiction not allowed to be weird and extreme anymore? Are we running out of real criminals to go after? Like, this just sounds fucking awful. Look, ma, no face, no hands. I'm a pro. Agent Hitler FBI. Wow, dude. That guy's got hella veins.
Just for the sake of offending people, but deluding himself into thinking.
It's really far beyond the money.
Okay.
Edge, like any true katana, needs to have a purpose, because otherwise, you know, it's like fucking...
Dude, Agent Pedo.
Honestly, no. You're welcome to disagree, but between his various run-ins with the law and schizo behavior, I think if he had any serious illegal intentions, it would have floated to the surface and been uncovered by observers or the police. But I do think he has some incredibly questionable and dangerous beliefs relating to things like age of consent and sexual expression. That's just a theory. Cue the outro.
That's funny. Yeah, this is really good. You should go watch the rest of it on his channel. Again, Node Armstrong. Misdeeds. Someone is clearly an internet tourist or a snowflake if they see Shadman as anything other than a hero of freedom of expression and not letting others or the internet, moral police, Nazis using names like SJWs, feminists, and woke all the same, forcing their beliefs upon you and restricting your expression and way of life. Dude never did anything wrong except not have a tolerance for bullshit and not filter himself, which, let's face it, takes actual real courage to do in the world at a time, and especially now, while this era of PC bullshit is still going on. Bait, let's get a pin for the effort, dude. Holy shit. Internet moral police. Dude, this guy literally just woke up. Aiden wrote this earlier in the chat, and it's never rung true more than right now. Dude, it's like this guy literally was in a coma, and he forgot that he didn't have to defend this guy anymore. Holy shit. No, I assume that guy's just memeing. Turns out the guy who based his edgy art sona on an SS officer wasn't a stand-up guy after all. Shadman's a good boy who doesn't cause any shit. This quote did not age well. Shadman popping in to remind people he's still around, like herpes flaming up just to remind you it's there forever. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, dude. This is fucking unhinged. This is insane. I criticized some dude's Corey Feldman video last week, and the content creator gave me the pin of shame. It's pretty awesome. I do that occasionally. If there's like an unhinged person, and I just happen to be... I haven't read the comments in like my last 6 videos, I gotta be honest with you. But like when I do occasionally like skim through the early comments, if somebody writes something completely unhinged, I will pin it.